in a small little village in Malaysia. No one even heard of it, in the northeast coast. So tight you can walk the entire village in 20 minutes to Main Street. You know, I grew up in my parent grocery store until I was 15 years old, and then at 18 I left home and to Canada to do my grade 13. And then at 20, I enrolled into Parsons School of Design. And my parents, they own a tiny little grocery store, but for them, the education is the most important for us. So they save up all their money for our education. Like we grew up without a telephone, without a television, it's all, they really saved up all their money for our education. I came here, they sent me to school, and I came to America with $300 in my pocket. Yeah, and I finished a 4-year program in 3 years, and I worked full time. I got very lucky. I got a full-time job with a designer, Mary J. Marcasiano in Soho, a small sweater designer. And I basically worked full-time last 2 years and go to school full-time too. I live on maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep every day for 2 years. And then I was fortunate. I stayed with the company for a total of 7 years. And then I left in 1988 to freelance. I knew that I wanted to do my own collection, but I didn't want to leave right away because I loved the designer and the company. They were really good to me. They got me my green card, applied for my green card. So I took a little break and do some freelancing. And then in 1989, I launched my first collection. It was a Resort 1989-90 collection with just a small, tiny capsule collection. It's a lucky 13 pieces. The reason why lucky in America is unlucky. My parents' grocery store is number 13, the address. So I always consider that my lucky number.
So do you miss your mother's cooking?
Oh, definitely. Myself, yeah. Oh my God, the Malaysia, the food. Talking about food, Malaysia is probably. I might be biased, but Malaysia probably had one of the best food in the whole Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Because it makes a very different culture. You have 3 different cultures: the Muslim, the Chinese, and the Indian. It's amazing. Like Thai food or Indonesia is not the same. The culture is amazing. The food.
I haven't been to Malaysia
You
yet,
have to go. If you go, I'll introduce you to my family.
I was in Singapore and I love the food there.
Oh,
and
but
it's
you know
similar,
what?
right?
No, if you like Singaporean food, it's a knockoff of Malaysian food. No, it really is. Yeah, it's a knockoff of Malaysian food. They're not as good.
Not
If
as
you like,
good?
yeah,
'Cause I think it's really good.
No, if you like it, then you're gonna love what you're having. They're very specialized. Like old Chinese old man, all he do is 3 type of noodle. That's what he do. A shaved eye, it's only shaved eye, and the old Chinese lady will be squatting on the floor and do clay pot rice. That's all they do. They're very specialized. They're amazing.
So what's the best food city in Malaysia?
Well, it's over. Of course, you have you have Kuala Lumpur, and then you have Penang and Malacca, or you can go to my home state, Kota Baru. It's amazing. It's a mostly Malay food, of curry and spices. I was just there in April for the royal wedding. I went to attend the wedding of the crown prince, and I had my driver before the wedding. So I know I'm not going to eat that much during the wedding. So I have my driver took me to the local marketplace. The food is so amazing. I personally, I'm Chinese, but I like the Malay food better. It's a coconut milk and savory and curry. Oh, the food is out of the world. And if you want good Malay food, you have to go to Kelantan. That's where I'm from. Those are the most authentic. Once you get to Kuala Lumpur or Penang, it's not the same anymore. They don't do it quite right.
That is all fusion.
Just like then you go to Singapore, it got even worse. It got even
Oh,
down.
no.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I was like, I gotta go back to Singapore.
No, go to Malaysia.
And tell me what you think of this.
Okay, I want a real local, really good, authentic local one. No, the lao lao, like then they cook the pork under the ground, right? Is it that one? Or no? Yeah, I want to go to good lao lao. Yeah. Okay.
Have you tried restaurants here so far?
I'm sorry.
Have you tried a lot of restaurants here so far?
No.
Oh.
Last night, we were working late. I went back to the gym. I go to the gym, and then I skipped dinner. I didn't even eat dinner. I was just so tired.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I had a salad and the dressing was foam.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge foam.
Huge foam.
Wow.
Wow. Exactly. You know.
So that's fusion.
Fusion, exactly. You know, and so many. How much can they decorate in one small plate? I just don't understand. They spend so much effort on the decorating, they forgot about the flavor. You know? Yeah, I travel over the years, last 20 years, eating at every type of restaurant. I come to a conclusion that I'm too old for trendy food, for fusion food. Just give me delicious food, you know. Yeah, I finally had to put my foot down with one of my good friends in New York. He's one of the very pretentious guys. Always want to go to the latest new restaurant, and he can never get a reservation. So I'm always have to get a reservation. Then I'm miserable eating there.
right.
I think finally 6 years ago, I'm not going to any of this restaurant with you. You want to go and get your own reservation, you know.
That's why you want to eat the Hawaiian.
Yeah, I want a real local. When you travel to a new country, you want to go to their culture, their food, you know. I don't have to go to the fancy restaurant. Give me all the fusion version of the food, you know.
But as a designer, you have to keep your figure too, so you don't eat that much.
No, I love to eat. I'm never going to die, but last time I was just tired. I work out. I do 5 days a week of cardio. I run just cardio. I do 33 minutes on the treadmill and then 30 followed by 30 minutes of elliptical, so I can eat anything I want. I love my sweet. I love my dessert.
Good.
Yeah, but I was so hungry. I was tired. I know it's gonna be an early day today, so I went to bed early after my exercise. But I got up early this morning. I ordered the Japanese breakfast.
So what do you think of this ahi?
It's delicious. It's very, very good.
Do you have something like it in New York that you...
Not like this, yeah, no, not like this.
So you asked for the shichimi pepper?
Yeah.
Oh, is Malaysian food spicy then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Malay food are very spicy. That's why I'm using. Even though I'm Chinese, but we grew up. It's a Muslim populated state where I'm from. We grew up eating rice and curry for breakfast.
Oh.
It's so delicious. On a diet, and most fashion people always like to diet. I exercise, that's why I can eat anything I want. Not only I love sweets. That's my biggest. Every type of sweet. I don't know, everything. I love cake. I love cookie. I love ice cream. I love chocolate. Yeah. Yeah, you feel cheated, right? If you don't have dessert, I feel cheated. You know.
Oh, thank you so much.
Baking is very easy.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you ever get to cook yourself?
Yeah, I love to cook. I know because with my busy schedule, I don't cook as much. I haven't cooked that much in the last 5 years. My assistant always teaches me you only cook for the magazine because my cooking has been published many times by magazines. But it's just so busy. Like I'm such a control. If I cook, I want to do everything myself. Or the flour array. It's like a 3-day project.
Oh yeah. Don't do it.
Yeah. The last time I cooked was for 6 years ago for Food and Wine magazine.
Oh.
Yeah, they want a Malaysian dinner, so we cook a Malaysian dinner. They even have the recipe and everything in the article.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is the biggest specialty in Malaysia?
I want a curry, they have curry, and my own specialty, I mix it when I serve a Malaysian dinner. Because I'm Chinese, a mixed culture, I make one of the best spring roll. My own version of the deep fried spring roll is 11 different fresh ingredients, all hand shredded and deep fried. And I make my own chili sauce, Now usually they always want Malaysian, that I make curry with rice, all different. And then I make for dessert. That's why I don't like to bake. I like to cook. By baking, I always make. If I serve Malaysian dinner, creme caramel, but I make my own version with coconut. 1/3 coconut milk, and then the pandan juice, and then I use palm sugar instead of regular sugar. It gives a complete different flavor, but still very classic. Yeah.
And they sell palm sugar.
Yeah, it's hard to get it. Yeah. The palm sugar, the flavor is just amazing. Yeah. Or Vietnamese, it gives it. My coconut creme, I actually make it on the cover of Australian Vogue magazine 28 years ago. House and Garden did a big story about my new showroom. room, and I was surprised that I cooked a Malaysian lunch, and they weren't credit. They were supposed to just photograph my show with my fashion. They ended up doing a fashion, the food, and everything. It was an 8-page spread in House and Garden, including the food. And then because it's owned by Condé Nast, right? And then Australian love my coconut. I have it wrapped in a metallic gold ribbon bowl, like a Louis XV bowl, and Australian Vogue because it's owned by Condé. They put that clam caramel on the cover of the Australian Vogue 28 years ago. That's cute. Yeah.
Taste this.
Yum.
How is it? I have a good friend who's
Go back and show to Anna, and 5 o'clock I got a phone call. Say Anna would like to call in the entire collection, which is 13 pieces, not even a small little rack, and say, well, for a meeting. So I was so dumb that they even asked. I said, okay, come and pick up tomorrow 8 o'clock. I said, we need it at 8 o'clock. We'll send it back by 5. And then 5 o'clock, I come the next day. The collection came back. 3 pieces was missing. I was even afraid to ask her why not. Why 3 pieces meeting, and then. A few days later, we got a phone call saying we just photographed. Congratulations, we photographed one of the dress for November issue. I started the business August 1989, and I say the dress was shot in Morocco, Marrakesh. It will be in the November issue of Vogue, and I was in business barely 3 months, and the very first dress for the collection made into Vogue. We showed the collection much later than that. In November, 3 months later, I showed my first spring 1990 collection. Still very small, a little bigger, 20 pieces. The same thing happened again. She said, we need the collection for meeting. I was even too afraid to ask what is this for, and she took it. And then 6 o'clock that day, they returned half of the collection. She said, congratulations. She said, I didn't want to get your hope high. She said, Anna was working on this big story for the March issue, the thick issue, called The New Faces of the 90s, and the 4 best young American designer. And magazine, they usually work 6 months ahead. The story actually was wrapped in August. 4 designers was all photographed and interviewed, and Anna saw my collection and fell in love with the collection and decided to yank out one of the design. I know, and they never tell me who it is. I didn't ask either.